Unions are having a moment in the current labor shortage. After decades of seeing both their influence and power erode, workers now have the upper hand, or at least a more solid footing when it comes to negotiating pay and benefits. From Starbucks coffee shops and Apple stores to an Amazon warehouse, tens of thousands of workers across the services industries are banding together to press their advantage. And this is just the beginning. According to venture capital investor Roy Bahad, company owners and senior management need to start paying attention. He says, the business skill of the future is the ability to lead an organized workforce. So to find out how to get there, I asked for tips from Sara Nelson. She heads up the world's largest flight attendant union. What is your advice to corporate leaders on how to work effectively with them?
I think what's really important is that people understand that this is a chance to have a structure in the workplace and actually be able to have a pipeline to the employees and feedback and to have a real collaborative relationship there that's very organized, that you don't have to try to make sense of yourself as an executive. And so it can be a real benefit to companies who understand how to work with unions.
What do senior leaders in management currently get wrong about unions and how to work with unions?
I think the biggest thing that they get wrong is just the idea that they need to fight them. This is a very, very strong narrative in Wall Street, among the investor world. Fight the unions, keep the unions out because you want to retain control. There is a strong sense in this country right now that people want to have unions. People want to have a voice. They want to have certainty in their workplace. And so fighting that is really a waste of money. And it's also setting you up as the bad guy.
How do you build trust with union leaders or union reps so that there isn't a cynicism or suspicion on the other side?
So the biggest thing is communication. When there's going to be a change in the business, get a hold of the union leaders first, schedule a meeting, or as you build that relationship, sometimes it can just be a phone call, just to advise them about what's coming next and get a little feedback from them. And so don't take them off guard, because when you're announcing things in the workplace that nobody's heard about, that builds suspicion and distrust, as opposed to what can happen when you are being collaborative, bringing people in, using that structure of the union so that the union leaders can say, yes, we talked about this, and when they're getting questions from the employees. And actually that takes a lot of stress off of the admin of the company.
Why should CEOs not be afraid of unions, particularly when there's always the possibility of a strike?
Everybody likes to talk about the strike, but really what the strike is calling the question. So it's getting to a solution. Everyone has something at risk in a strike. And I always say that a strike has to be a part of a productive collective bargaining relationship, because the workers are putting something on the line. They have to really decide that the issues that they're disagreeing with management on are important enough for them to risk not getting a paycheck and going without working. And management then has to recognize the risk of the strike. And so usually what that does is it encourages people to compromise and come to an agreement.